So, as I said, I'm excited about this topic today, and Megan sort of touched on it.
And I'm going to do like floors, we can do like old wood and concrete floors. So the reason I'm here is because I want to learn more about this video pitch to the sharks.
It came about as part of our preparation for a program that we've had now for the last 4 years called Swim with the Sharks. It's a video pitch competition, and it's designed for startup businesses to have an opportunity to get some exposure to the general business community and win some money. There's a prize package. Mac was actually our first winner. I guess that's 3 years ago. This is our 4th year. And this year we've broken it out as separate from the annual dinner. So as we develop the Emerging Enterprise Center annual luncheon, which will be held September 23rd of this year, and that's when the winner will be announced. We wanted to make the program a little more than just a submission, so we've had a couple of workshops that are not directly tied with the Swim with the Sharks, but in the same vein and open to all folks like yourself in the business community. With that, I'm going to turn it over to
what I want to do
Mac.
is just give you a little bit of background on who I am and the company that I started, and along the way, the different groups that we're constantly pitching to, what that pitch sounds like to each group, and how that evolved really over time. And so I was at University of Delaware, I was taking an entrepreneurship class, which I thought was really fascinating. And one of the things, on a day-to-day basis, which I looked at through the entrepreneurship. So then I realized, okay, we have one side of the equation. Drivers are actually interested in wrapping in cars and getting paid to do it. And then I was like, all right, well, let's test out the other end of the equation, brands. And actually the first thing I did, we should join the Newcastle County Chamber of Commerce. And business owners hang around there. It's like a business networking thing. I had no idea, what it was at the time. I was still in school, obviously. So I said, okay. So I started, this is 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. I showed up to my first chamber event, Newcastle County Chamber event. And what I was doing was I was just telling people, hey, this is my business. This is my business. And, literally, it was just going down the line at these networking events 2 or 3 times, meeting everybody. And I mean everybody, just introducing myself. It was real aggressive. I've learned that's not the best way of getting things done now. I ended up meeting our first client at a chamber event. So that was 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. Now, we're a company of 11 people. We're headquartered in the Hercules building in Wilmington, Delaware. We're working with some very large brands, ShopRite, Buffalo Wild Wings, Discover Card, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and a whole bunch of local and regional companies to kind of growth and where we are today has just been in large part due to communicating effectively is the right for us. Who I'm talking to on a daily basis is there's 3 large stakeholders: drivers, marketers. And so it's always important to always be on your A game, know who you're talking to, and where they could potentially, be of value from. Just kind of show you the pitches real quick, and it's dramatically evolved since the early days, and show you how I'm talking about the same thing in just a very different angle, but knowing that that's how I need to communicate it to so, I'm thinking about what's important to that person that I'm speaking to. If I'm in their shoes, if I'm in their shoes, what points are going to resonate with them, which I know that I need to speak to. In terms of getting out there and meeting movers and shakers in Delaware is, it's doing the things that we're all doing here today, right now. It's just like having that to show up, being present, and going to events and meeting new people, not being afraid to be uncomfortable and do things that, you prefer not to be doing. Maybe prefer to be watching Game of Thrones or, playing.
So we have to have a core message, so you're prepared for whatever the circumstances are. But you need to develop a profile of your circumstantial. If you're out there and you're meeting people and you're just providing that brief introduction, you want it in a way where they say, well, tell me more from the questions that you get from the customer, so you incorporate in future pitches and future presentations, or even adjusting procedures. Could be sending messages.
How you guys doing today? Well, first, I want to get your thoughts. As an angel investor, what are 3 things that an angel investor will do for you? The angel investor is designed to obviously give you capital, but in addition to capital, they're going to help you get connections, or that should be your desire. Give you connections, and then also give you some advice or mentorship. So, kind of listen to what Mac and Frank were talking about, knowing your audience. That is very, very important. So let's just say we're primarily focused on software, B2B software platforms, something like that. And then a biotech company comes in the door and they're constantly pitching to us. In other words, you're really wasting our time. And that's one of the most expensive things you can really do. So knowing and finding an investor, angel investor, that matches what you do, or at least close to what you do, can increase your likelihood of a success in terms of like success, definition of success, a good relationship where capital is provided, and plus they can actually give you some support. Two things that every investor is thinking about, because obviously investing in startups is very risky. Every investor knows that, but we believe that the upside outweighs the risk, right? But it's basically your job as an entrepreneur to help us reduce that risk and increase our confidence. And because there's 2 questions that we typically ask ourselves: can I lose money on this deal? Or will I lose money on this deal? And how, on the other positive side is, in our world, we say we like to get like 10 times our money. I mean, that's a perfect scenario. We want to at least see that you have a plan of action and you present to him or her and maybe a couple other people. And in that case, you have a presentation that's going to at least have about maybe 10 to 12 points. Like how long, but it may be between 6 to 10 minutes where you actually. But one thing I always tell people: try to dump down to your audience. Just talk to them as we want to show that you're putting forth a good effort, you have a good product, and you want to give it your all. Because when we part with this money and give it to you, we hope that you do right by it.
What I heard from Pedro is 2 things. What he described, all those pieces, are essentially a business plan. Right? Now everybody groans because nobody wants to put together a business plan, but he said, basically, you got to have all that knowledge that would be in a business plan. The business plan is really for you because you are the first investor in your business. You're already at work now. You never want to miss an opportunity to pitch your business. But as we talk about the elevator pitch now, looking at the sheet, I'm going to want each of you to, we'll take maybe about 10 minutes to do that. How easy was this to do? Were you able to just pretty much rattle it off, or did it take some thinking?
It was nice having everything organized in place so you can kind of structure it the way you want it. Like it was easy to write everything in and the structure can flow.
Yeah.